Hey everybody, welcome to the Kyle and Not Kyle show. I'm Kyle,
Not Kyle.
and we're bringing you some Week 5 recaps. This was a fun week of games. Some history making happening at the first game and last games of the week, so we're gonna dive right in. The first game was Thursday night, Indianapolis going into New England. Nice, solid win for New England. Julian Edelman being back just completely revitalizes that offense, opens up so many different things. He opened up things for Josh Gordon. He opened up things for James White and Sony Michel in the running game, and it showed. Fun note, on their first drive for a touchdown, Edelman had 3 catches for 28 yards, 28-3.
Oh my god!
My favorite. I saw that on Facebook, and I actually went back and checked the coach's film to see, because they list what each play is to look for, and sure enough, 3 catches, 28 yards. And ironic because his last game was that game that he actually played in.
You mean real game?
Yeah, last real game.
Preseason.
Yeah, preseason. Both teams have 2 interceptions. 2 great defensive plays by the Patriots defense. Jonathan Joseph keep doing it, plays for the Texans. Jonathan Jones, who plays for New England, just bobbled it, brought it in, ran it back like 10 or 15 yards. And then Devin McCourty just ripped it out of Wilkins' hands because Wilkins was trying to get more yards instead of just going down.
From a neutral party here, Indianapolis was too injured to
Oh my gosh,
be in
yeah.
that game.
The fact that the final score was
They got junk points.
some of them were junk points.
But it was close enough in the first half.
Exactly. Adam Vinatieri. Guy is so good. And it felt weird because I was happy that he missed his first field goal. This is a feeling New England fans aren't used to. He's been gone for so long, but he's going to be one of those guys.
The first one in every Super Bowl he was in.
Yeah, but he's one of those guys that New England fans are always going to like, just because.
Oh yeah.
He kicked us our first 2 wins. Grant, like said, if he'd made some of his earlier ones, he wouldn't have had to kick it. But still, I worry about Andrew Luck.
Wow. He looked great.
Yeah, he looks great. There was one they showed. It was, oh my gosh, beautiful spiral. My worry, though, is, like I was telling you, he's thrown 114 passes in the last 2 games.
Mm-hmm.
They're 0-2 in those games.
5. Oh, okay.
They have lost.
If they would have beat New England, you would not be calm about Andrew Luck throwing for that many yards. You can't have it both ways.
No, I'm talking passes, not yards.
Yes.
Either way, my worry is how much is his shoulder going to hold up?
He's got 2 years of rest.
And he got hurt midway through again. That's why he didn't play last year.
He hasn't had to do anything for a very long period of time.
His
shoulder is... There's no wear and tear on his shoulder. He's had it off 2 yards. Imagine if Brady had it off 2 years, and he comes in and throws 200 passes in 3 games. No one's going to say... Only the Tom Brady detractors would be saying anything. And people like you would be going, oh, he can do it. He's had 2 years of rest. And he's 58 years old, and you'd still be saying that.
No, don't get me wrong. I love Andrew Luck. I loved him coming into the league. I hated that he went to Indy just because I hate Indianapolis. But I do worry about him. He has had... There is no... You saw him take them to the AFC Championship game 2 or 3 years ago, the Deflategate game. Then you saw what the team was without him the next 2 years.
Yeah.
And you saw what he means to the team last week.
Yeah.
His wide receivers couldn't catch a pass to save their lives.
Right, but...
It was horrible.
T.Y. Hilton.
Yeah, he didn't play. No, he didn't play, and it showed. It showed. Jack Doyle didn't play either.
The tight end.
Yeah, Doyle. The tight end, Jack Doyle.
Who's Ebron?
He's a tight end.
For The Colts.
For Indy.
Yeah.
He had a decent game, but
he dropped some.
Yeah, it showed. He started doing the same thing he did in
if
Detroit.
If you're New England's defense, who are you worried getting by without Hilton there?
Honestly, it was Ebron.
Yeah, but he's a tight end.
Yeah.
He's not gonna run a 45-yard pass.
Like I said, Pascal or whatever his name is.
Yeah, he had the case of the drop.
Yeah, and there were times that he had them beat, and he dropped it. And that was the thing with Ebron. There was one where he had completely beaten the coverage.
Drop it.
He's going to catch it. It's almost to his hands. He starts looking downfield. Drops the ball because they had been driving that whole. In fact, that was what set up the Vinatieri miss, I believe.
That's one thing this year. There was a lot last year. This year, there's been so many missed kicks.
Yep.
All I know is the Giants kicker and there's another team where he's made like 7 or 8 field goals. Jacksonville's kicker. Mm-hmm. They're safe. They should demand a raise at the end. It's like, no, I want $8 million a year.
Right.
No way are you that good. Actually,
speaking of kicking and bad kicking, Mason Crosby for Green Bay. He had 4 or 5. I think he missed 4 field goals and an extra point.
That's what I'm saying. He used to be one of the top kickers.
2 years ago, it was like he's one of the first 2 taken in fantasy. But yeah, that was a nice game. Brady got his.
That was the worst game.
No, that was a great game. No. That was a great game, Rob.
No.
Brady got his 500th touchdown, as well as on the same touchdown, his throwing a touchdown to the 71st different wide receiver. As I mentioned on my solo thing, I printed off a list of all the people who'd caught touchdown passes in the regular season from him. I had to go halfway down the second page before I found a guy who I had no idea who it was.
What do you mean?
Like I can't even think of the guy's name. It was Algie Crumpler was one I'd never even heard of him. Like I truly.
So how many? Because this is what I was wondering with 71. Because I remember when Ryan set the record. Mm-hmm. What percentage were receivers and what percentage were running backs?
I actually think it was quite decisively wide receivers. I can
2
check.
A year, maybe 3.
I can check. Well, not the last few years. They've gone through wide receivers like crazy the last few years. But yeah, it was mostly wide receivers if I do remember right. Which it was funny because the top 5 were 3 and 2. Or top 6 were.
What do you mean 3 and 2?
Like it was Gronkowski, Welker, Moss, Edelman, Hernandez were the top. Or no, Dion Hernandez.
Yeah.
So it was top 6. So
really?
Yeah.
The old guys weren't in there. Branch or.
No, Dion Branch.
Okay.
Sorry. Yeah, Welker, Moss, and Branch were all in there. So it was Hernandez, Edelman, Gronk, Welker, Branch, Moss. So, which I wasn't surprised by the top 6.
No, I would have been surprised.
But yeah, and then just looking through the names of all the guys, I was like, oh my gosh, I forgot about him. Or I remember.
Because he threw in the Colts, didn't he?
I think he did. Yeah. But yeah, I'm looking through. I'm like, oh my gosh, there were so many guys. I'm looking. Oh my gosh, most of them didn't even last the whole year. They caught the touchdown. Like I'm looking, I see the names like Kimbrel Tompkins, Brian Timms, all these guys.
Oh, and that was
Chris Harper.
Gordon was the 71st.
Yeah, Gordon was the 71st. But yeah, so that was neat getting to see, and that it's just like what you said with the Monday night game. You knew it was gonna happen.
Oh, but 71 different guys is no big deal. I mean, it's one of those weird esoteric. This is my 5th shutout game in the rain. Okay, great. No one, I don't know.
Right.
I mean, that record, of all of his records, it's probably the lowest one.
Probably. But like I said, I enjoyed the game.
Well, I know you enjoyed the game.
But that is
New England
because
won and they beat Indianapolis.
What else?
Pittsburgh's the only other one. But this week there's a test.
Yeah.
This is the test. But hey, I remember last year, Kansas City went in, they were, 5-0, 6-0, something like that. They went into their break and then
lost 5 straight.
blew.
So, moving on to the Sunday night game, Battle for Texas, Houston versus Dallas. I actually enjoyed watching that game. I had something else going on that night, but I was able to. I just had my phone right here, and I'm just, I'm time to. Oh, wow, nice play and stuff. I went back and watched it. I enjoyed the game. DeAndre Hopkins. I watch Texans games just to see what he can do, just because he's so good. The catch he made in overtime, that was a great catch already, just because he had to leap up to grab it. Then 2 spin moves to get them in field goal range. He's so good.
To's Cootie.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. They
I didn't know
found
who that guy was.
Yeah. Because I had been seeing his name towards the end of the Colts game last week. He had 16 catches or something 2 weeks ago against the Colts. It was some crazy high numbers. Dang. Who's this guy that's just bursting onto the scene here? One of the things that I was intrigued by was almost a battle of linebackers, because you had Jalen Smith and Leighton Vander Esch for the Cowboys, those two are going to be stalwarts for that defense.
Vander Esch, we kind of talked about that way back.
I was super high on him in the draft,
and he didn't start the first couple. Lee was
no,
and now he's one of the linebackers,
and it shows why they took him.
Oh, he's a ball hawk.
Mm-hmm. And so then on the other side. Yeah, it was funny. You have they're all 5 of them are good defenders, but these 3 are all kind of known throughout the league. You got Jadeveon Clowney, Whitney Merciless, and Bernard McKinney as linebackers for Houston. And
Clowney's a linebacker.
Yeah, Clowney is a fit. Technically, they moved him to a linebacker.
Von Miller,
but he on the depth chart they are actually a 3-4, and that's because they want to have Clowney, Merciless, McKinney, and Zach Cunningham, draft pick from a couple years ago out of Vanderbilt, all on the field with Watt at the same time. That front is so good.
But they haven't done anything.
No, they haven't.
And
that's the thing is you have all this talent on the front 7, and you're not stopping teams.
Sacking people. You're not dropping anybody.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know J.J. Watt's having a decent year.
Oh yeah.
He's not having a good year as T.J. Watt.
Do you know they actually lead the league in sacks?
Pittsburgh?
No.
Houston?
No, the Watt brothers both have them, and before I think it actually was through this week. T.J. Watt, J.J. Watt, and I can't remember who the third player was.
90 Watt?
No. We're all
soft light bulb.
We're tied for most sacks in the league with 6.5 sacks.
Surprised Mac's not in
there. Yeah, right. But yeah, so for me, that's also part of it. Bill O'Brien will have to finish near 500 in order to have any chance of keeping his job.
I think they're just not catching their stride.
I think so too. Yeah, I mean,
right now, you look in that division. Tennessee looks horrible. One game they look like they've just playing in the Super Bowl. The next day they look like they've just now started an NFL franchise. Yeah. Jacksonville is defense only. Their offense couldn't score if you gave them points.
In fact,
Indianapolis can score some points, but if I'm Houston, I'm going. I could beat every one of these teams. I'm not going. We're going to get killed. Or we're going to get. Yeah. If I'm the Jets, I'm going. The odds of us beating the Patriots are. We got to have something happen to Brady. Yeah. I don't think Houston thinks that about the other teams in the division. No, I like the game. I thought it was a good game.
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
I can't stand Dallas. It was good to watch them.
How much longer will Garrett make it as head coach?
Oh, Jason Garrett?
Yep. Week 8?
Oh, no, he'll have the season.
Jerry Jones came out and criticized him.
Yeah.
It's never happened before.
Yeah. He's not going to get rid of him in the middle of school.
There was a reason.
In the middle of the school year, he's not going to get rid of him. Not get rid of him in the middle. Because you're done. If you get rid of the coach, what coach have you ever said that if you've ever seen, oh, they got rid of him middle of the year, and then they went on to go to the Super Bowl? Never.
There's a reason Dak fell out of the first 3 rounds of the draft, and they're showing.
Oh, they need a good quarterback.
Yeah,
they Then he's a run.
They compared him on
Jared Goff.
No.
Jerry Jones said he's between Jared Goff and Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, whatever.
It's like, what are you drunk
They
on?
compared his stats to Brock Osweiler.
Well, wait a minute. Brock Osweiler in Denver?
Brock Osweiler in his last 13 games.
Okay, that's not.
So the last
in Denver, he did pretty well.
To his last 13 starts, they compared those two. Only slightly better.
I'm not sure.
Yeah. So, that was me. Dallas also, I think they're missing Frederick in the center of their offensive line. I mean, he's done with that injury.
And they're missing Witten.
Yep, and so Romo mentioned this. I made a note about this on Romo was in studio for CBS Sunday Morning Football or whatever it's called, and he mentioned that Dallas is trying to find someone to fill Witten and Dez's shoes, but they don't have anyone with the physical capabilities to do so.
Well, I'm surprised, and we talked about this at the time, why they didn't pick up Calvin Ridley for the Falcons. And he's doing really good right now.
Well, they took Leighton Vander Esch, that's why.
Yeah, but I think Van Esch would have been there. You think New England would have taken him?
Yes, there was.
So then they would have picked Michelle.
I'd seen some
Butterfly
stuff.
effect.
Right? I'd seen some stuff saying that if Leighton Vander Esch was there pick 28 or whatever, they were going to try and hop up to get him because they wanted him. But when he got taken, it's fine. We'll wait. We don't think anyone else is going to take Sony Michel.
Yeah, no one would have.
No one would have, and we got him. This was the first time Houston has won back-to-back games since the 2016 season.
That's only a couple of years.
But still.
Last year they lost their stud receiver.
Oh. Stud quarterback?
Yeah.
4th and 1, and you punt in overtime.
Oh, I don't understand that at all. I mean, I didn't. I've seen this happen too many times this year. Because this happened in the Giants game when the Giants played Dallas. 4th and 1. And Dallas was the worst team over the last 5 years in stopping 4th and 1.
Yep.
And you know who was number 2 in converting 4th and 1s?
Dallas.
The Giants. So Shermer didn't do it. And then the next week, last week, against Carolina, it was 4th and 1, and they converted on 4th and 1. It's like, come on.
Yeah.
Unless, I always look at it this way. I think that at that point, you're conceding that the other team is more physical than you are.
Yep. And
I'm going to rely on my defense to take the ball away from the other team's offense.
So Michael Vick, I was listening to Colin Cowherd, and Michael Vick was on, and they were talking about the 4th and 1. This is what he said. He said, that is made by a coach who's not willing to take risks. He said, look at the teams that don't make the playoffs, that just miss out on the playoffs and stuff. Said, they don't take risks. They play it safe. They go with the safe call. That they don't ever, hey, we're gonna stick our necks out a little bit and see if we can get this. He said he honestly thinks that most GMs and owners wouldn't be okay with the loss, but they'd be a little more accepting of it if they lost because they just couldn't they just couldn't get it done, rather than we're just gonna kick it away.
Yeah, but if he would have done it and they didn't, if he would have called it, go for it on 4th and 1, and they didn't get it, he'd have been
still would have been the same outcome. They lost.
Yeah, but he'd be criticized for going for it.
I don't think as much on 4th and 1. I don't think as much.
I watched Belichick in Pittsburgh. It was 3 years ago. Have Tom Brady and Gronkowski, and he goes for it on 4th and 1, and they don't get it. And Belichick they're going, why'd you make that call? Why'd you make that call? They're going to do it regardless of what happens.
Oh, yeah, no, I agree. But yeah, so...
Best way to never have that is not get in those situations.
Bingo. Well, one team that didn't have to worry about that situation of 4th and 1 very much was the Saints against the Redskins.
Oh my God. Did they even have a 4th down?
I honestly don't think they did.
That game became unwatchable. It did. It became unwatchable.
Like I said, I thought Washington would put up a bit more of a fight. But it's like you said, it was a frenzy. They were at home.
Oh,
Breeze needed 201 yards.
The Redskins were chumming the water. That's all they were.
I even put, what a party. Drew Brees and the Saints were hosting. Alex Smith and the Redskins were the pinatas. Like I said, Traquan Smith, first NFL touchdown catch. He don't even get to keep it. It's going to Canton. Nice story. Oh yeah, here's my second touchdown. My first one's in Canton. The Saints defense looked like Saints defense from last year.
Yeah, I can't say this enough. Washington is not that bad.
No, they're not.
And they got just absolutely.
Yeah, they are not that bad of a team.
No. Like I said, they were just chum.
Yeah.
He was going to get that record. That team was going to make sure that happened. The only thing,
the NFL was going to make sure he got that record.
The only thing that I didn't like about it is they stopped the game for it. It's like that's not what I'm not watching that. It stops the game. You can't tell me.
A lot of people.
So we can't have a timeout.
To see that, but
to break it, not to have the 22-minute stopping the game to let him go talk with everybody. I'm like, I understand it after the game. It should have been crazy.
Yeah. No, I do agree. I do agree with that. And I did have to laugh. They just gave him a piece of paper that said he won. Like it didn't even look like it was laminated. I'm like, you're a multi-billion-dollar industry.
Yeah, what does that even mean? Here's a piece of paper that says you did over.
Hey, yay! One thing though, and I've thought this since week one. Booger McFarland, he is the third guy on the. I would love to have his job. You sit on the camera that is at the line of scrimmage, and you just follow the line of scrimmage up and down the field, slightly elevated.
That's awesome.
Oh, I'm like.
But the question is, why isn't there a camera that we're seeing through?
There is.
No,
it's on him.
No, I mean, why isn't that? Well,
that's usually one of them. They'll do replays and stuff.
What I like is he is a defensive lineman.
Yep. So
the defensive linemen always have a radical. It's like him and Saragusa. You listen to those two guys, and you're going, they're not straight up here. They're, and he was good. I mean, he was a good defensive tackle.
Yeah. No, I saw it. I was like, gosh darn it! Like I was talking to my dad. We were watching. I'm like, I would love to have that job. Just okay. I'm sitting here. Yeah, you guys have fun in the booth. I'm in here watching the play.
Well, I don't think he's a bad commentator.
No. His from what honestly, I think they should get rid of Witt and put him up there and put Booger up there because I think I'm still.
I don't think there's
sold on
there's not a gel between the two guys.
Yeah. Which, like I said, I say give a guy at least 1 year.
Witten knows his stuff.
Oh, he does.
When he's talking,
his comments that he makes, like, oh yeah, it's like, like it's some of the comments.
You didn't finish the sentence. You just said like.
He's what was one of them? Well, if they don't catch it here, then it'll be third and long. Yeah, we know it'll be third and long if they don't catch it here. You don't need to say that kind of stuff. But no, I enjoyed. Like I said, I enjoyed all the games this week. I know you only enjoyed the last two.
No, I didn't.
Of the primetime games.
I didn't dislike the Indianapolis game. I just didn't think it was exciting in the slightest.
Yeah.
One game goes to overtime. The other one is an absolute ass kicking, and the guy gets a real record. Not saying that Brady's 71 different people, but it's like, okay, it's almost.
But yeah, so that was our Week 5 recap.